My number is J1002, and this is my science fair project. My science fair project title is called Does Music Make Plants Grow? My rationale is why this problem interests me. This problem interested me because I think that plants are so important to our environment. And I also love music, which is why when I was thinking of a science fair project to do, I came upon this one. Things that could help our problems in the world with this science fair project is the loss of trees from forest fires, especially in California, and landslides died of natural causes or just collapsed. And so you could play music to this area of trees to make them grow faster, which could help us, and we would also get to breathe more oxygen. This could also help with farmers and gardeners because farmers could get their crops out to people faster and gardeners could help their plants grow faster. My research question is, how does music make plants grow? My hypothesis is that music will make plants grow faster. I think that the plants will grow better based on a more relaxing music instead of hard rock or super loud upbeat music. My main goal would be to see if the plants grow faster with music opposed to plants without music. My independent variable is music. Only 2 out of the 4 plants will have music played to them. My dependent variable is plant growth. My controlled variable is all the plants will get watered, and my sample size will be 4 plants. 2 plants will only get water, and the other 2 plants will get music to listen to. For my review of literature, there have been actual studies that have proven that music helps plants grow. The same experiment was done at Anamia University, only they use different instruments. One of the instruments they used was the cello, and they concluded that it worked the best out of the instruments they used. And they said that the violin also helped them very much. So, plants are able to sense music around them because they can perceive many things, such as light, scent, touch, and gravity. So, the music vibrations is what helps the plant grow the most, along with the sound waves. I think that the plants respond and grow better when you play classical music to them, because if you play hard rock or hip-hop music, the music vibrations are very up and down and all over the place, and it's not a smooth and steady growth. Whereas if you play classical music, it's a smooth and steady growth, and I think it helps the plants grow better. So the materials you will need for this experiment are a measuring cup, any type of device to play music to your plants with, water, 4 pots, radish plant seeds, soil, measuring tape, a device to take photo of the plants with, and any type of logbook or journal to write down your observations in. For my procedure, the first thing I did was take the 4 pots out and fill them up with an equal amount of soil. Then I labeled 2 of my pots music and put them together in sunlight. I did the same thing with my other 2 pots, only I didn't label them. After this, I played classical music to my plants every day throughout my experiment for an hour using my laptop. I gave the plants 1 measuring cup of water every 4 days. I would also measure the plants and keep track of which height is which plant. Then I would write down my observation and steps that I took each day in my science fair logbook. Overall, I think the plants seemed to grow at the same time in height and when they got throughout the experiment. I did not see a change in height or time from the 2 plants that got music. There were a few times when the non-music plants would be 1 inch taller than the plants that got music and vice versa. The plants began to grow very quickly after we had planted them because 2 or 3 days later they were already at 1 or 2 inches. Sadly, I don't think the music helped the plants grow much more than the plants that got the non-music. So there were many general patterns that were observed throughout both of the plants' data, and both of the plants grew at a very good speed and growth. I think that both of the plants, for the most part, didn't really have a huge difference in their growth, and I think the data ended up denying my hypothesis because they both grew at about the same rate, and both of them were not the different height than one another. So the results turned out the way they did because the music vibrations might not have worked as well in this environment. So the plants that received music were not able to sense the music vibrations or sound waves needed to help them grow as much with the plants with non-music. However, it was not a complete shock because seeing that the plants were receiving music and they did not grow as fast or as tall as they might have been compared to the plants without music. The only variable that cannot be controlled was the plant's growth. The findings from this experiment could probably not help any scientists or the general population because my results denied my hypothesis, which means that music did not help the plants grow as much as I thought they would or I wanted them to. But it would still be great for someone to do the experiment just to give it a try. One of the difficulties that I had with this project was remembering to take pictures of the plants. So after the project, I could look back and see which height was which. And then another difficulty I had was measuring both of the two sets of plants because sometimes we would forget the height of them. It also helps not to get the heights mixed up from one of the other plants. And these difficulties could have been avoided by making a materials and procedure list that ahead of time and looking that very list during the experiment. That way you don't get confused when you're writing down the steps. So by improving this experiment, if I was to do it again, adding different types of plants such as lavender and tulip flowers would help us see which kind of variety of plants responds the best to music. And we would also try different types of music such as jazz, pop, hip hop, and see which plants died because of the hard rock music or which plants excelled because of the smooth music. And I think the main focus for someone wanting to try this project, they could just expand their project to how many flowers or plants or types of music that they would like. Thank you.